key thing that you said about this product is frequency. Talk about it.
We need to go there.
Yeah, that's so important, especially.
Yeah, because we're talking right now chemical.
Yeah.
We're on the superficial material aspect of our body. But truly, we are the molecules under the food, such we are protein, we are H2O, we are those molecules. But those molecules are atoms, are made of a few atoms, right? We are really atomic being, electrical being, and we are resonance. An atom has a proper frequency, the electrons and so forth. And we all heard of the free radical theory that says that when an atom starts to behave negatively, then it's weak. Restoring cellular frequency is what the role of the hypothalamus, primary role is.
Cellular frequency.
Correct. Our cells vibrate. We have polarity, it's called polarity. And when they're positive polarity, they attract each other and they start to aggregate, agglutinate together. And they're less of a team, less of a commando team, the SEAL team. When they're when it's in our cells, we have hydrogen molecule, and our cells are called, the red blood cells are called hemoglobin, which is a hemoglobin, which is a globin with iron. Thank you very much.
Makes the cells red.
Correct.
Actually.
Now, a doctor would say, well, you're not anemic. You have all your red blood cells. You're fine. But the person is fatigued all the time. Well, Dr. Kariak shared with me, and I've, of course, in my studies, I'd seen this, that when you can increase brain health, oxygenation, which is the acquisition of 2 oxygen molecules per hydrogen molecule, happens better at the red blood cell. So you have what is called oxyhemoglobin. Oxygenated red blood cell, that is the power. Because then it circulates in the river of life, and you have more oxygenation across, and that's a major factor of energy. We're talking about resonance.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit
more. Let's talk about humming. How about humming, frequency?
Yeah, talk about that.
I like the humming example. My dad was a mechanic, and I remember he would lift the hood of his old Ford, and he would play with the carburetor, which is the fuel injection and air. And there's a screw that he would play with to introduce oxygen and the fuel in proper balance. Because the car had been huffing and puffing and literally farting, if you wish, due to use. And he would play with that until it hummed. The sound of the engine was beautiful. That is what we are talking about. Every cell in our body becomes coordinated together, so we have synergy. That is so powerful that bacteria, virus, radiation ills are pushed away.
How does the microalgae actually make that cell hum?
Once again, by reaching the hypothalamus with the proper nutrients, which is energy at the hypothalamus, which is the master controller of the body. The hypothalamus role is to, in coordination with the cell demand and the liver, for example. The liver stores magnesium or other components, and blood, of course. It's a storage. And the brain triggers a release of the required element for proper nourishing of the cell in just in time. In other words, when sugar, protein, fats come in our meal that are travel our entire bloodstream, sometimes the brain says we also need to add this insulin to lower this, or magnesium to facilitate the work of chlorophyll and other elements to bring to the mitochondria the perfect meal. So electricity is more efficient. And then with energy, the cells puff up and they start to sing.
But would you also say that because we are basically energy beings and the microalgae is the purest form of energy in plant form?
Itself is extraordinarily perfect in terms of resonance, mineral resonance
so it
of
brings
the algae.
that mineral resonance
There's a marriage.
and plant resonance into cellular resonance.
Absolutely. There's a marriage taking place when you eat food of Mother Earth.
Right, the pure food.
Yeah.
And microalgae is probably, like you say, the purest food. It's
the most complete. Yeah. And as we shared earlier, this one is more than complete because we've combined several together to make it a bit more balanced, or not a bit, perfectly balanced and synergistic between the four
Talk
algae.
about that when that is frequency aligned, what happens spiritually to the person, the awakening.
That's a very interesting question. I shared earlier that I had been reborn physically, business-wise, energetically, and spiritually, because I started to soar, to have aspiration of living long and happy life from depression, right? I was looking forward to decades of this joyful life and running, and I was hungry again, and anyway, so that's spiritual life.
Thank you for sharing more of your story. I've been talking to Roland Thomas, the founder, president of BioAge, sharing about the amazing product and what it can do to activate a greater life force. Thank you for watching New Realities. See you next time.